Robin Williams was a huge part of my childhood. Many of the movies I'm about to discuss were films that I watched on repeat growing up. Whatever Robin was doing or whatever role he was playing, I would always find myself crying with laughter, and sometimes just crying. He was one of the greatest performers that ever lived. So today I'm counting down my top 10 favorite Robin Williams movies. Number 10, Dead Poets Society. Oh Captain, my Captain! As a lover of poetry myself, this film will always resonate with me. Dead Poets Society follows a group of young boys at Welton Academy in 1959, and one teacher in particular that will change their lives. Robin plays said teacher, John Keating, a man not afraid to break the mold, who teaches these young men to seize the day. Keating's words throughout the film are powerful and wise, and Williams delivers them in a way that will inspire you to your core. He makes learning about dead poets engaging, fun, and simply wonderful. Robin is backed by an outstanding young cast, led by a young Ethan Hawke as Todd Anderson and Robert Sean Leonard as the delightful yet tragic Neil Perry. And of course, I cannot forget to mention the beautifully moving ending of the film with the boys standing on their desks. A truly touching gesture for their captain that will definitely stick with you. Number 9, Flubber. This Disney film is a remake of The Absent-Minded Professor from 1961, based on the short story A Situation of Gravity by Samuel W. Taylor. Robin Williams is wonderful as Professor Philip Brainerd, a genius yet scatterbrained man who creates the curious substance he calls flubber. Robin brings his trademark charm to the part, playing Brainerd as an endearing man with only the best intentions. The role is very suited to him, and I could not see anyone else playing it. Marcia Gay Harden is lovely as Dr. Sarah Jean Reynolds, a very intelligent woman who loves Philip but will not sacrifice herself in order to try and make things work with him. Flubber also contains some great villains played by Christopher McDonald, Raymond J. Barry, Ted Levine, and Clancy Brown. But Williams is at his best during the scenes with Flubber and his trusted assistant Weebo, as this is where the most fun occurs. Number 8, Good Morning Vietnam. Probably the funniest war movie ever made, Good Morning Vietnam tells the story of Air Force radio DJ Adrian Cronauer, played perfectly by Robin Williams. The film is loosely based on the time the real Cronauer spent during the Vietnam War in Saigon in 1965. Williams Cronauer arrives at the US Armed Services radio station and makes a radical change to the airwaves with his outrageous commentary and controversial music choices. Robin improvised all of Cronauer's radio broadcasts, which will leave you in tears of laughter. Whilst off the air in Saigon and chasing after a cute girl, Cronauer ends up teaching an English class in hilarious fashion. But rest assured, this film is not all laughs, and it does a really good job of reminding you that there is an actual war going on. Robin's performance in these dramatic scenes is beyond excellent, and you can see why he received an Oscar nomination and won a Golden Globe for his role. Number 7, Patch Adams. This film is based on the true story of Hunter Patch Adams, a man who lived by the phrase, "Laughter is the best medicine." Set in the late 60s and early 70s, Patch Adams is just another role that Robin Williams was born to play. The bulk of the film is set in the Medical College of Virginia, as Patch is determined to become a doctor because all he wants is to help people. He is willing to push the rules, much to the chagrin of his college professors, just to put a smile on a patient's face. These are the scenes where the film's heart lies, watching Robin be his zany self, cracking jokes, pulling faces, and doing voices. In addition to that, he relentlessly and romantically pursues the affections of classmate Corinne, played wonderfully by Monica Potter. Daniel London and the late Philip Seymour Hoffman are also outstanding as fellow classmates Truman and Mitch, respectively. Patch Adams is a must-watch. Number 6, Bicentennial Man. Based on the story by legendary science fiction author Isaac Asimov, Bicentennial Man is a heartwarming tale that questions what it truly means to be human. Robin plays an android adorably named Andrew, who connects so deeply with his host family, the Martins, that he desires to be made human. Told over 200 years, we share in the love, life, humour and excitement of Andrew and his adoptive family. This film is a great example of just how talented Robin Williams was. For someone who was known for being larger than life, the role of Andrew required him to be almost the opposite. And he portrayed him exquisitely, capturing Andrew's naivete, confusion and pure heart with ease. And Beth Davids was also outstanding as Andrew's love, Portia, a headstrong woman who came to love Andrew for who he truly was underneath. If you haven't seen Bicentennial Man, I highly recommend it. Just bring lots of tissues. Number 5, Jack. Hey Mrs. Powell, can Jack come out and play? One of Robin Williams' most overlooked works happens to be one of my all-time favourites. The story follows the fast-paced life of young Jack Powell, who suffers from a condition that sees him age 4 times faster than the normal person. So at age 10, Jack appears to be 40 and is played by Robin. And again, Robin nails it. He was perfectly cast and does an exceptional job of portraying the innocence, curiosity, and immaturity of a 10-year-old boy. The film sees him go to school for the first time because, given his condition, he had been homeschooled his whole life. This makes for some hilarious and heartwarming moments throughout the film. Robin is supported by an excellent cast, especially the outstanding child actors. And also 3 amazing women, Diane Lane, Jennifer Lopez, and Fran Drescher. Jack is a beautiful film that will leave you in tears from laughter and the feels. Number 4, Jumanji. A game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. The original 1995 classic still holds up as a fantastic adventure movie. It's just as exciting watching it today as it was when I was a kid, although maybe not as terrifying now. Robin plays the adult Alan Parrish, who is trapped inside the insidious jungle of the game for 26 years. Unleashed in the mid-90s, Alan is a fish out of water who must now help finish the game once and for all. The visual effects were a mix of practical and CGI, and I'll let you guess which one aged better than the other. It is so great to watch as each threat from the game gets bigger the further along you go, from killer plants to a stampede and a monsoon. Bonnie Hunt, Kirsten Dunst, David Alan Grier, and Jonathan Hyde are all standouts from this fantastic cast. Jumanji is the perfect mix of action and comedy that will have you on the edge of your seat the whole time. Number 3, Aladdin. Robin Williams is the reason why Aladdin is my favorite animated Disney movie. He is comedic perfection as the genie, leaving me in hysterics every time I watch his performance. The story of Aladdin is your classic underdog tale, as our hero and his monkey Abu live on the streets and steal what they can to survive. But the movie really gets going once Aladdin enters the Cave of Wonders in order to steal the lamp for the evil Jafar. He unintentionally unleashes the genie and becomes his master, and then we become blessed with Robin's electrifying performance. Williams famously improvised the majority of Genie's dialogue, so much so that almost 16 hours of material was recorded. He is hands down the best thing about this movie, delivering not only the bulk of its humour, but a lot of its heart as well. At nearly 30 years old, Robin's Genie still holds up as one of the greatest voice performances ever. Number 2, Hook. You ever wonder what would happen if Peter Pan actually grew up? Well, this Steven Spielberg film has the answers. In a role that was at one stage written for Michael Jackson, Robin Williams was definitely the next best choice to play Peter Banning. Now, both a family man and a businessman, he spends more time doing the latter than the former. And hilariously, Peter is scared of flying. He has forgotten all about Neverland, The Lost Boys, and Captain Hook. That is until Hook kidnaps his kids, and Tinkerbell retrieves him to save them and defeat Hook once and for all. I adore this film with every fibre of my being. I love the way it blends reality and fantasy and tells a story I believe to be worthy of the Peter Pan canon. Robin is excellent as Peter, and I love the journey his character goes on from cynical workaholic to childlike hero. And I would be remiss if I did not mention Dustin Hoffman's incredible take on Captain Hook. And my number one favorite Robin Williams movie is Mrs. Doubtfire.
I do voices.
What do you mean, you do voices?
Well, I do voices.
Yeah! We've come to this planet looking for intelligent life. Oops, we made a mistake.
We're happy to be in America. Don't ask for a green card.
I want you in the worst way.
Well, it's certainly a rough meeting, and it's not going very well for me, I'll tell you that. Hey, boss, give it a chance. She's going to loosen up any moment.
Look at me right now, Moneypenny. I want to undo that bow and get to know you.
I'm crazy to make a deal with you. Nancy and I are still looking for the other half of my head. Idiot! You're doing it. I'm sitting on a gold mine.
Don't make me smack you, sweetheart. I'll do it. I do a great impression of a hot dog.
Not only is this my favorite Robin Williams movie, it also has to be, in my opinion, the best movie he ever made. Mrs. Doubtfire follows the Hillard family in the wake of the parents' divorce. Father Daniel, played by Robin, adores his kids so much so that he's willing to do anything in order to be with them, including dressing as an elderly female nanny. Robin is almost unrecognizable as Mrs. Doubtfire and manages to fool everyone around him. There are so many fantastic moments in this movie that I simply cannot list them all. The main highlights though would have to be the scenes where Robin has to go back and forth between Daniel and Doubtfire in order to keep up the ruse. The film also does an excellent job of showing the heartbreak of divorce and the effect that it has on the entire family. Robin's performance is outstanding from start to finish, and so is the rest of the cast, especially Sally Field's Miranda Hillard and Pierce Brosnan's Stu Dunmire. I could watch Mrs. Doubtfire on repeat and never tire of it, which is exactly why it is my favourite Robin Williams movie. There they are, people, my top 10 favourite Robin Williams movies. Let me know what yours are by commenting below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Fred the Alien for more videos just like this one. You can also find me on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts and Spotify as one of the hosts of a podcast called Fred and the Monthly Winifreds. I've been a Kendall Richardson, and you've just experienced Collectible Chaos.